Bonneville, where are we?
Ciao Bella, sat next to the Christmas tree.
Ciao Bella, sat next to the Christmas tree, about to do our monthly podcast. We had a little bit of comments last time from a couple of folk wanting to know if we could let them know time of filming. So today's date is Sunday, the 27th of November.
Correct.
That's the time of filming, and it's going to go out today, Sunday the 27th of November.
And it's 10:25
It's 10:25
a.m.
And we're a little bit lethargic because last night we went to see Terry and Anne. You know you are, you two.
Thank you.
Fabulous. I had chicken pie, homemade, proper mushy peas, chips, sticky toffee pudding, and Terry. I don't want to embarrass you, but I love me rum. Thank you. You know what I mean.
Delicious.
Fabulous.
Great company. Thank you.
So yeah, a little bit not hungover, but a little bit lethargic.
Yeah, I think we are a little bit hungover.
Anyway, thank you very much, Terry and Anne.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Fabulous evening.
Yes.
Lovely, genuinely lovely folk. Don't want to embarrass you, but you really are. Right, so for those that are new round here, we do our monthly podcast. You send questions in, link to where to send the questions in the video description and on the screen now. And we answer them basically.
Yeah.
We don't duck anything. Sometimes I do have to do a little bit of editing, as I've had to do on a couple this month, just to take obviously some inappropriate language out, but I cut and paste them onto the iPad, read them out, and the absolute rule is Mrs. B.
I have no idea.
No clue what's coming up.
Not a
I couldn't cope with that. Right, shall we crack on? Getting all Christmassy and festive here, look with the tree. Right. Bruce and Karen Wilkes from the northeast. Do you do YouTube for the money and to top your salary up if you're not on good money? Actually, I'm going to say I'm a high rate taxpayer and have been for quite a while, so it's not for the money. If so, how much do you make? Reason we ask is because we would like to know if a relatively small channel like yours makes any money. P.S. I'm a police officer, and if you could shout out, leave the car keys at home this festive season if you're planning on having a beer. Absolutely, Bruce.
Yeah.
Biggest pet hate of mine.
Leave the car keys at home if you're going to have a beer.
If you're going to go and have a drink, correct.
Or get a friend that doesn't drink.
Yeah, correct.
That's always really handy if you've got a friend that doesn't drink.
Don't mind giving that a shout out. As I say, I suppose you all know my minimum salary now. I've shared that, and we certainly don't do it for the money.
We love it, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We said years and years ago we're doing this. Whether you believe us or not, don't take us the wrong way. We don't really care, but we do this because we want to look back on it.
Yeah, we want to sit there in our dotage when we can't move. And I've got a beard, and you've got big ears, and we can wash it and go, oh look, remember when we did this, and when Kenneth was that age.
So and yet we know it's a relatively small channel, and it probably always will be. We float around about 7,500 subscribers, and we're happy with that. Do we make money off it? Yes, we do. Mind your own business is my response to that. And
can he go on and find out somewhere?
No, you can go on to Social Blade, and if you went onto Social Blade and typed in Love Life Triumph, the figures on there are absolutely nowhere near the mark. But that's a criticism of Social Blade for any YouTube channel. The only thing Social Blade is accurate with is the number of subscribers, but the rest of it isn't. So yeah, do we make money? Yes, we do. Thank you very much. Do we do it to top up my salary? Definitely not. I work really hard and earn a nice salary, and we're happy.
Yeah. I
think that's the polite way to answer that. But seriously, thanks for your question and your shout out. We're either drinking and driving. Don't
definitely.
do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Or just do like we do. Just drink and walk.
Yeah, get a taxi. And even for folk that are with people who are driving and they're getting stop it, just don't do it. Tell your friends to leave the keys at home.
Yeah.
Don't get me on it.
No.
Right. Archie Brownlow.
Thank you two.
Yes, thank you.
Bruce,
yeah. Sorry to get a little bit, but Archie Brownlow from Ipswich. Love the videos you both produce. Thank you.
Thank you.
They really are great. So funny. And I also like how you approach the monthly podcast. You really do have a great no-nonsense approach. Keep it up. We always say, we just press record. I would love to ask, in brackets, not very interesting to some perhaps, Each to their own.
Yep.
What you think is the best piece of kit stroke addition to that beautiful boat of yours? One day I hope to be doing what you pair are doing. Just live your life and do it if you can. You are living a life that you really want to live. Yeah, I really admire that. Keep the great work up. Thank you ever so much, Archie.
Yeah, lovely.
Best piece of kit addition to the boat? Good
Apart-
question.
Apart from Kenneth.
Oh yeah, apart from my little fur baby.
He's sat under the table licking my feet at the moment,
Bless
which
him.
is really quite sweet. The fire.
100%.
100%. Mr. B's just been doing a caveman thing with prodding it with stuff and things.
Yeah.
And, oh, God, it's just lovely. Oh, it's just so warm. I put my chair here when we were watching the TV, chair and stool. It started off your chair and stool, didn't it? And then it ended up mine because he couldn't sit in front of the fire.
I can't sit anywhere near it.
Oh, it's
and I agree.
lovely.
I agree with Mrs. B. The fire,
Yeah.
or the conversion of the fire back to multi-fuel,
Yeah.
amazing. It's pretty much not been off now for 2 months. Probably won't be till March or whenever it gets a bit warmer.
So nice. It
it's
allows
wonderful.
us to sit on the deck if we want to sit
Yeah.
on the deck. We just have the doors open. I'm not saying it's really warm up there, but it allows us to sit up there comfortably.
Yeah.
And it's just lovely.
So,
I
yeah,
just love it.
yeah, the fire.
We sat yesterday, didn't we? We had an hour yesterday where all three of us we nodded off, and it was so warm in here, wasn't it? Before we went out, we had a disco nap.
Yeah, and also the other nice thing, Arch, is at night, sometimes call of nature, you have to get up. I got up, for example, last night, it was 5 to 3, call of nature, the fire was in, and this boat was toasty warm. And, touch wood, other than the frames, because they're metal, we get zero condensation, which we knew because of the narrow boat. And I think if you've listened to all our stuff, we were both fed up last year, weren't we?
Oh, it took forever.
With the condensation.
Took forever. Wiping down the windows.
Yeah.
What do you wipe a window down with?
Oh,
Do you use? Oh,
yeah.
it just
So yeah, the fire, brilliant piece of kit. Would you agree?
number one.
Cool beans. And Archie, go get your boat, go live your life.
And get a multi-fuel, but that's just our opinion.
Yes, just our opinion, because we'll get hate mail for those diesel stove lovers. Right, Alan and Lynn Brooks from Wellington in New Zealand. Wonderful. If you've watched for long enough, you know my views on your country. Fantastic. And they've put best little channel. Brackets, don't mean anything by that comment in terms of disrespect. None taken.
Thank you.
Thank you for the comment.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll take that.
Best little channel on YouTube, in our opinion. You two just live your life. And Mr. B, we absolutely love the direct, no-nonsense approach. Are you sure you're not a Kiwi? Also, same from you, Mrs. B. We love it, but we know the reason, Mrs. B, because she's Yorkshire. Correct.
Correct.
I think worse than the scorn of a Yorkshire woman. Many moons ago, we used to have a Dutch barge moored over in Europe, and every winter we would agonise over which coal to burn. It's funny because last night me and Terry were talking about kind of burns and our friends have a boat, and we were chatting the other week about coal, or to be more precise, which is the best brand. 3 question marks. We'd love to know your views, as we know you have converted your stove from diesel to multi-fuel. Absolute no-brainer in our opinion, as diesel stoves simply don't cut it. We're not going there.
No, we're not going there.
You know our views on diesel. Folks, keep these great... Yes, definitely. Folks, keep these great vids coming, and please don't change. We won't, thank you. Coal. Obviously without brand names and all that stuff. Our old neighbours, who are now moored in another marina, Joe and Gary, put us onto what some would see as a budget brand, but it isn't. Ironically, we buy it in 10 kilogram bags, and if I bought the equivalent weight, it would be the most expensive. But it's pitched as kind of a budget coal. Absolutely love it. Shall we?
Yes.
What's it called?
I have no idea. You're the caveman with the poking the fire and stuff. Go and have a look.
Let me go and have a look.
I do actually know how to make a fire, because when Mr. B has to go to the office to work, which sometimes 2 or 3 times a week, I'm like the scullery maid, aren't I? I get it all cleaned out and sorted and stuff. And I'm pretty good at being a fire starter.
She is. She's pretty good at being an argument starter as well. No, I'm joking. It's called Blaze. It's about UK, it's about £8 sterling a bag, but it's for 10 kilograms. So if you wanted a 25 kilogram bag, compared to other prices for the so-called leading brands, it's more expensive. We love it. It burns really lovely, burns nice and slowly. So for us, that's the one that we're using this year. Last year, just to name another brand, year before, we were on a narrowboat, we burnt Excel, and we had varying degrees of success with it. I know each stove is very, very different and how it reacts and burns, but I say Blazes, which is what we're burning now, cannot fault it. So that's what we're burning, and we absolutely love it.
Yeah,
We really do.
Brilliant, yeah.
So thank you for your question.
Thank you.
We are now going on.
Is it coal or it's not coal, as in coal that you used to... Oh, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he's looking at me now like... Don't they call them coalettes or briquettes?
Briquettes.
Briquettes.
Yeah.
I thought, it must be some other different...
You've managed to dig yourself out of this, Mrs. B.
Yeah. I thought, is it? You know, like you can get wool, you can get man-made fibres, or you can get natural. I thought it was maybe something that's been... Oh, I don't know. On to the next question.
Moving on. Catherine and Sue. See, you've started the dog barking now. Even Kenneth said it's coal, Mum. Catherine and Sue Gribshaw from up north. You've put with 1, 2, 3, 5 exclamation
Excellent,
marks.
yeah.
We came across you pair recently and are now addicted to you three. Beautiful boat, beautiful wife, and amazing dog. Mr. B, you have it all. Well, I don't actually. There's many, many things I
There
need.
you are. There you are. You see.
No, you're right. We are very happy as a little three. We love our boat and we love our life. So
do.
We would love to know if you would ever trade that boat in for a new one. Come on, what would make you sell it? Sorry if this is a little nosy. It's not nosy at all.
No, not at all. At the moment, no. I just love being on here. I mean,
we don't need a new boat.
We don't need one. I mean, if we walked onto boat and we suddenly went, oh my God, this is amazing. But I can't see that happening because I still get a thrill every time I walk onto Ciao Bella and I look around. We sometimes sit there. We're watching I'm a Celebrity at the moment, aren't we? We're loving it. But we sometimes sit there in the adverts and Darren will say to me, we live on this lovely boat. I know, with a dog. We still can't have to pinch ourselves to think we actually managed to get Ciao Bella and it's our home. So I'm still thrilled.
I agree. I absolutely agree. You know, we were lucky. You know, let's not reopen what happened on our first kind of attempt to buy the boat. We had no plan B because it was all or nothing because we loved the layout of this boat. We just love... And again, I want to stress, everyone's different. We love it because the space it gives us. So we had no plan B. And in fact, I think we've mentioned on a previous log, what may have happened is we may have had to have bit the bullet and may have ordered and traded up for a new one of these. Because every time we look, and I occasionally keep my eye on the kind of the new and used boat market, you know, we've got new and used boat sales on the marina, and I'll have a look. I haven't seen one wide beam with a layout that would tempt us.
No.
Seriously. And our
big.
boat's only 4 years old.
Yeah.
So would we trade in at some point if we were to commit to living on a boat all our life? Possibly. But right now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with our boat. We love it.
We love it.
And
The
I say
space it gives us.
it's the layout.
It's the space.
Yeah, we're sat around a table that can seat 6 people comfortably.
Yeah.
We're in a lounge that can. We love the layout, and as I say, we've not seen anything that's on the market currently that even comes close, have we?
No. Some beautiful boats.
Oh, some lovely boats.
But not with the space.
But not with the space.
Doesn't come with the space.
So, so that's not nosy.
No. So answer to your question, no.
No.
We
not unless you want to give us 250k cash.
In a brown envelope.
In a brown envelope at the gates. Sorry, joking. Or am I? No. Moving on. Thank you for your question. Adrian and Pat Coombe from Cornwall.
Oh, lovely Cornwall.
Thank you both for the lovely videos. We do love them. Mrs. B, how do you put up with him?
There's actually brandy in here. It keeps me going.
We also absolutely adore Kenneth and recently subscribed to his channel. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
You do so much work on the two channels, but it's actually Mrs. B really, which we think is utterly amazing. You've never asked for anything. You don't charge. which we also think is amazing. We'd love to know how you feel about this, as other channels are constantly asking for money.
Well, everybody's different, aren't they? Like Mr. B said earlier on, we genuinely do it because we love doing it. I suppose we're a little bit of exhibitionists as well, aren't we? We have to be. But we enjoy the filming of it. We love it when we come in from a day out somewhere to the coast or on the hills or something, and we get ourselves a beer and we watch it and we laugh. You know, we laugh at what Kenneth does, or Mr. B saying something funny, or tripping over, or doing something, and we laugh at it and we enjoy it. And for us, we do it out of enjoyment. Mr. B's, I'm going to say, fortunate. He's worked very hard to get where he's got, so we're okay. But other channels, they're not. So that's their way of making money.
Yeah.
And when I'm editing, I can sometimes spend, if I added up all the hours that I spend editing, it could be 2.5, 3 days worth of editing for a vlog, which seems funny when you think that our vlogs is usually about anywhere from 15 minutes to 20 minutes, sometimes 25. But the filming that we do, sometimes I'm using maybe 60, 70 videos that we've taken, maybe 10-minute video here and a 5-minute video there, and putting it all together. Now, if I charge per hour to do that, or I went to work for a company as an editor, editing, I'd get paid quite a bit of money to do that. And this is what YouTubers do. This is their living. They're doing this. So in order to be able to do that, and it takes time, I don't work. If I was working, we wouldn't be able to put these together like we do if we both had full-time jobs, because it takes too long.
I agree with that. I also think it's mindset for us. For me, it's mindset. As I say, I know. Sorry to keep labouring it. We never went into doing this for anything other than, let's see in a few years what we've got, and let's be able to look back on it. Genuinely, we do mean that. I really do mean that. And that's mindset. You know, believe it or not, you know, I think we're quite, not unique, we're one of, you know, maybe a dwindling number of folk who do YouTube for that reason. So many people, I think, do it to think they're going to make a quick buck.
It takes a while to get.
It does, you know, and don't get me wrong, you know, we don't really put that much effort into it. Let's say we just press record on the camera because our lifestyle and time, certainly me, doesn't allow for anything other than that.
Yeah.
I often do wonder sometimes if we were to say to ourselves, right, let's invest in a little bit more gear, let's invest in a little bit more scripting and research, and then you start to go into this realms of it becomes a job and you start to expect from it. Yeah. And I don't want us to do that.
No, we just
do it for fun, and it's a hobby.
But we're fortunate that we can do that.
We're
fortunate that I've retired. Mr. B works, he earns a living that keeps us nice and comfortable and everything, and I've got that enjoyment of time to be able to sit, because it does take a lot of time. I'd love one day to do a vlog, just how we put a vlog together, and you'd be able to see how...
Be mortified.
You know, people such as like when David used to cruising the cut, he was on his own, and he used to put together these fabulous videos, you know, and so to be able to see what goes into it, you'd be amazed. But I love it. I absolutely enjoy it, and I've got the time to do that.
Yeah. So hope that answers your question.
Yeah.
You know, and don't get me wrong, those folk out there that are trying to make a living, good luck.
Absolutely.
Right, Dean and Paula from our 68-foot Canterbury Aqualine on the K&A.
Oh, nice, lovely
Ours
K&A.
is 2 foot longer.
Yeah.
Size is everything. Never did I think I would ever email a YouTube channel. How dare you?
First.
Mr. B, I simply had to write in and thank you for answering that question a few podcasts ago about your favourite paper, place to travel, type of holiday, etc. Pauline said we were watching Bloody Hell, There You Two Are. Don't quite understand what that means, but I've read that out exactly as it's coming. Mr. B and Mrs. B, of course, you're both welcome aboard our boat anytime.
Oh, thank you.
Anyone who is proud to share their views, politics in a way you do is a bloody hero in our books. Well, you know, as I say, we had a question, for those that haven't seen it, we had a question to name our favourite paper, favourite type of holiday, etc., etc. So it's probably very, obvious now that, who we vote for, blah, blah, blah. But as I say, we don't duck any questions, do we?
No.
So my question is, now that folk know you vote Tory and read the Telegraph, Mr. B in particular, have you had any adverse reaction? Try to imagine someone sticking their face intellectually or physically in mine to have a go at my voting preferences and my reading preference. And by the way, the last time I picked up the Telegraph was months ago, wasn't it? I probably read about, no joke, I probably read about 50 to 100, 200 pages of text a day at work. So I get very little opportunity to read in my leisure time. I love it, but I am really not trying to stir anything here, but I really did enjoy how you both answered that question a few podcasts ago. So have we had any adverse reaction?
No, because you know what? Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and that's
correct.
It. And you know what? We've got friends. I've got some friends that are really, really radical about all sorts of different issues, and I love them dearly.
Yeah.
Friends that don't share the same.
Yeah, that's what makes the world go
beliefs
round,
and
it?
all sorts. Yeah. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
because
correct.
you don't talk politics or religion with
Correct.
anybody.
We have
Never.
one rule on our boat. We have a few rules on a
Yeah.
boat, but particularly with guests and friends, no politics,
Yeah.
no religion.
And always bring a bottle.
And
They're the
always bring
three
the bottle.
things.
And if you're Anne, bring your mushy peas, thank you.
Yes.
And Tara, bring your rum.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, Mrs. B's right. We don't talk politics and that stuff on the boat.
We'll answer your questions
Yeah,
about this. We don't duck anything.
Yeah.
But you vote for, which God you believe in and things.
Yeah.
It's your own personal
We respect
thing.
it. We may not, but agree with it. I respect people's opinions. I hope they respect mine. You don't have to agree with them, but just respect them. I think that's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah. That's
Thank
it.
you for your question. Ted Simons from North Carolina in the USA. Very
Ted
nice.
Do you know, I was thinking, where do I know that name from? And
Ted Simon.
Ted Simon was the guy.
Jupiter's Travels.
Jupiter's Travels.
Yeah.
He travelled around the world on a motorcycle in about 1977. And it's a brilliant book. If you want a really good, if you're into your motorbikes and travelling and stuff, he actually wrote a book about his travels and how things have changed, because you won't be able to do what he does now.
Right.
Now.
Someone's just going to sort that fan out for me.
Oh,
Maya.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have a fan. Here's a quick question. We have, one of those fans on top of the stove. Sometimes it makes a right racket.
I have to watch my nails
Yes,
as well.
and don't get your fingers caught in it. That's
There we
twice
go.
in 1 week. Let's not go there.
I've got a blood blister on my finger by catching it in the fan.
Right, here we go. So, Ted, you have a beautiful wife and also very sexy.
Oh, thank you very much, Ted.
I used to watch the bike stuff, including Mrs. B's PTs. I can't even count out the amount of exclamation marks. That's your first warning, Ted. Do you mind me asking if your multi-fuel stove allows you to sit on the back deck in winter? Mrs. B's already alluded to this.
Yeah.
I ask because you have such a lovely boat and a back deck, but not sure if or how you can stay warm out there. Mrs. B, one more Mrs. B's or similar, please. No. No.
For those that don't know,
No.
when we used to do the motorbike channel, I used to do a Mrs. B's PTs, which was pillion tips. So as a pillion rider, somebody riding at the back of the motorbike, just some of the tips that I've found: keeping warm, stopping your hair from getting helmet hair, and all that sort of stuff. What gloves to wear? I think the gloves one got quite a lot into it. So that's what, when we're talking about Mrs. B's PTs, that was what that was about.
And something else, but let's not go into it. Right, so does the stove allow us to sit on the back deck?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
in answer to your question.
It's not as toasty as the boat, as actually inside the boat, but we're hoping, fingers crossed, to have our Christmas dinner on the deck, because we've got the Dyson as well, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got the huge... Let's be really clear. We could sit in the back deck every night of the year with the Dyson on and the stove. So, yes, honestly, Ted, it is not a problem to sit in the back deck.
No.
We've got the big Dyson, and once we put that on, within a couple of minutes...
Oh, you can't sit with that
Well,
on.
the other night you turned it off, which
Yeah.
my face nearly fell off.
Yeah, because I'm always nesh. I'm always chilly. But yeah, we were sat up there with t-shirts on, weren't we?
Yeah.
I even took my socks off.
Yeah, so without it, it's a definite, it's a 365-day usable space.
Yeah. So like I said, we want to have Christmas dinner up there,
yeah,
don't we?
yeah. Thank you for that, Ted.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you very much, Ted.
Stephen and Linda Wood from the Midlands they've put, so not far from where we are.
No.
We have sold our house and doing what you pair are doing.
Ooh, excited.
We are so very excited and also so very nervous at the same time.
You will be.
Hope this is how you both felt. No, not at all. We would love to know what you would do different now that you've been doing this for a couple of years. Another question, if okay. Have you had any adverse reaction from work, Mr. B? We are waiting on the house sale to go through. Then it's a wide beam for us. Wish us all the luck. Stephen and Linda, seriously, house sale, fingers crossed.
Tons of luck.
Boat, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
What would we do differently now we've been on here? Or now we've had a boat for 2 years?
I'm just trying to think.
I'd have done it sooner.
Yeah, because I think because we knew nothing. We knew
Still
nothing
don't
about
know
nothing.
anything.
No, we knew nothing about everything to do with the boat. Nothing. What do they call that thing? You do it, cognitive thing about you're conscious incompetent or a
yeah.
we knew that we knew nothing, and so we've learnt. But I enjoyed doing that, and it was really good not knowing anything, because everybody around you, you say to somebody, I'm really not sure what I'm doing here, and they go, let me show you how to do this, let me show you how to do that. So I don't know, but I think like you, if we'd have only done it a bit sooner. It was the pandemic, weren't it, that I think did it for you?
Yeah, definitely pandemic for me. I say, if you've watched all our stuff, you'll know for me, I sat in the home office one day and I thought, no, this is not for me. So, whilst the pandemic was, and still is, in some countries, very much real and tragic and awful, for me personally, selfishly, it, allowed a different kind of perspective and kind of view and slant on life. So yeah, I'd have done it sooner.
Yeah.
It's like anything,
Me
you don't
too.
know, do you?
No. But if anybody asks us now, anybody that's younger than us, and there's a lot more people younger than us than older than us that we talk to, we just say if we're in our third. I mean, we've been together. We haven't been together a trillion years. We've been together now probably 8.5 years. But if me and Darren had met when we were younger, it would have been a lovely thing for us to have done, because I think we would have.
Yeah, we'd have done
gone
it.
Out.
Yeah.
But no, just doing it sooner, I think, would be the answer to your question.
Definitely.
Let us know how you get on.
Have you had any adverse reactions from work, Mr. B? No, because I'm the boss.
Yeah. They all think it's a great idea.
Simple as that. And generally speaking, everyone, I speak to, I say I spend 2-3 days a week working from the boat, and it's Zoom or Teams calls, and sometimes folk will, oh, where are you? And I'll show them round via the laptop, and they are astonished. But I've never had any type of reaction. It's like anything, as long as you've got good, solid, reliable internet, off you go. So no adverse reaction.
Yeah.
And like Mrs. B, good luck with the house sale and the boat.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Yeah, because we did, when we first talked about doing this, you were a little bit unsure about what people's reactions would be, weren't you? Because we were living on a boat. You wondered what people's reactions were. And the reaction that we get from everybody still, and which you will do, I was at the hospital yesterday, and when they're reading out and they go, can we just check the first line of your address? And of course it's Mercy Marina Ciao Bella, and they look at it and I go, it's a boat. A boat. And then someone else will go, oh, do you live on a boat? And of course it creates that conversation. And all we've ever had is people admiring that, don't they? And we'd love to do that.
It's intrigue, isn't it?
It is intrigue, you live on a boat.
Yeah,
we can actually have a shower and cook on a boat. It's brilliant.
Right, moving on.
Thank you.
Simon and Sue from South Shields. We would love to know how long you keep your fire in. Does it really heat the boat? How is the condensation? Has it improved? Love the show, by the way.
Thank you.
Sue, thank you. We've alluded on it, so we won't spend too much time. So we pretty much keep the fire in 24 hours a day. Occasionally we might go out for a long period or a day, and it'll come back and it might need a little bit of a kind of a refresh. But generally speaking, it's not been off now for a couple of months. Yes, trust us, it keeps this boat toasty warm. We've got Webasto central heating. I put it on the other day just to kind of keep it kind of maintained as such, or just to make sure it was okay. I had it on for a kind of an hour or so. It heated the boat lovely, but nowhere near as nice as the fire. So yes, it definitely keeps us warm. And as I say, no condensation, touch wood. Sorry to not smooth over that one, but we have talked about it quite a lot.
And just to let you know very quickly, when we went for our walk this morning with Kenneth, I'd got my motorbike thermal underwear on. I know that's not a very pretty thought, but that gives you an idea of the weather outside, and we both sat in t-shirts inside.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. So, yeah, utterly warm. Richard and Bev Griffiths from Cheshire. Oh my God, this is so. Oh, I can remember the email. Oh my God, Mr. B, I am sure I saw you the other week. I was walking my dog in the grounds of Alderley Park one morning, and I am absolutely sure it was you driving into one of the car parks there. Apologies if you saw a screaming couple waving their arms frantically around 7:15 in the morning. If it was you, bloody hell, you get up early. Bev said he must be a big boss. We love you, pair, and would really love to know when you will know it's time to pack it all in and start the next phase of life. Will it really be France or perhaps a new boat in a different place? Question mark. If we see you again, we promise we won't wave and act like idiots. Richard and Bev, no, I didn't see you. Yes, it would have been me at that time in the morning. I set my day nice and early so I can get back at a reasonable time. It's a 110-mile round trip to Alderley Park, which is where I work. So, no, as I say, I didn't see you. If I do see, your words, two maniacs waving at me again, I will stop. Seriously, I will stop. So if you do see me, pop over and say hello. That's lovely. When will we know it's time to pack it all in and start the next phase? As I've said many times, yeah, Mrs. B has. That's absolutely fine. I'm not saying I'm young. I am not young. But I'm only 54. I don't want to stop yet. I think I may have mentioned many times. I did retire once, early 40s, way too early. Way too early. In fact, when I met you,
yeah, I was retired.
I was retired. So Mrs. B saw, I suppose, that life, if that's the right phrase. Not for me. I will retire, but it's probably going to be at least 10 years. And again, I don't want anyone criticising or sending. I'm not knocking where I live, but I just know I couldn't retire here. That's not saying we won't retire on this boat, a new boat, put the boat somewhere else. Don't know. Everyone knows my views on Stratford upon Avon Marina, but that's a long time away. Or it could be we sell the boat and do what we said and go to France. Don't know. But right now, not even thinking about it. I enjoy my job. I enjoy the corporate side of my life. I really do. I have a stressful job. It's challenging, but I do enjoy it. I think that's, well, it's not fair enough. It's the only thing I can say.
I enjoy my life.
And do you know what? And I think we're lucky. Mrs. B has full days doing various bits and pieces. I have my work, and I think that's...
Yeah, and having Kenneth,
it's
lovely, because I love being off the boat and walking.
Yeah.
Me and Kenneth walk all over the place.
Yeah. I will say one thing right now, if I'm, being completely candid, we have to decide these things as a couple. Of course we do. But right now, guns ahead and all that stuff, it would be in 10 years, trade the boat in for a new one and lift the boat and move it somewhere else. That's right now, because I do love living on a boat. But who knows, 10 years is a long time. As I say, I have no plans to go before I'm 64, 65. And then touch wood, if I get 10 years of active life, brilliant. But not yet, not ready. Hope that answers your question. We've got a couple more to go. Vic Robertson from Stoke-on-Trent, so not a million miles away. Like you pair a lot. Like you pair a lot, and little Kenneth is such a lovely dog. Thank you. I really don't know anything about boats. Would love to know if that back deck area keeps you dry. Does it not get damp and cold at all? Sorry for the very basic question, but would love to know, as I have visited Mersey Marina many times and see all those huge, big, wide beam boats, think that's what they're called, for sale. They're so expensive, and always think They look amazing, but do they suffer from damp, etc.? No. As we've just said, you know, the canopy, touch wood, doesn't let a drop of water in. It gets, when it starts to get warm in there, and obviously because it has rained an awful lot, sometimes you will get droplets of water. That's the condensation.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, you could sit out there in a snowstorm, a hailstorm, a thunderstorm.
Yeah, and we have.
And we have. And it doesn't, touch wood, it doesn't let a drop of water
Bone
in.
dry, isn't it?
They
Yeah.
are really well
Yeah.
constructed pieces of kit.
You see, I couldn't get my head around, and I said this to Darren. I suppose that the same principle is that your anoraks and stuff and your waterproofs, where the zips aren't they going to let water in where the zips are? But they don't. They're really, really tight waterproof canopies, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they are. They are
it's good.
utterly. I say I don't want to tempt fate, but so yeah, we can sit out under it in all sorts of inclement weather. We really can.
And let's
so,
face it, in England we get more inclement weather
God,
than we
yeah,
do
6,
sunshine.
7 months a year of it. So Vic, thank you for your question.
Thank you.
And final question is Edward Price from Mid Wales.
Your neck of the wood.
Yes, love the weekly videos, and also have just subscribed to Kenneth's channel. Thank you, Ed. That's really nice. It's so funny. Whoever edits that really is doing a great job. Thank you. Sorry, Edward's put. So I do have a question, which is, if you had to buy new brackets, I know you perhaps wouldn't for reasons already mentioned. No, I would if it was in the water. I'd never order a new boat. Would you still buy an Aqualine? I ask because I'm about to take this step and would love to know if you truly are Aqualine fans and would do it again. Thank you. Oh God, in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
Again, I always have to caveat this and stress, it's just our opinion. We're not criticising other boat builders. But in a heartbeat, Aqualine every single day for us. Mass produce, unless we win the lottery, we're never going to be in a position to go and, you know, get a boat custom built.
No.
That's hundreds
Especially
and
not-
hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
And we're not going to be in that
Yeah,
position.
we're comfortable, but they're not that comfortable.
So mass produced boats, don't care what anybody says, it's just my opinion now, Aqualine every single day of the week.
Yeah.
So we'd go and buy another one of these in a
Correct.
heartbeat.
The fitment and
The
everything.
fit and finish, spot on. Yes, like most boats, Aqualine can suffer with paint. You know, you've seen what I've had to do to the roof on ours. Although, if I'm honest with you, I wouldn't put, if I was going to put a self-seeking satellite on the roof of a boat, I'd have put it on slightly differently than it was put on here. Maybe that is criticism of who put it on or how it was put on, I don't know. But generally speaking, the fit and finish in this boat is just,
Oh, it's lovely.
it's steps ahead
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So, yes, we're not sponsored by Aqualine, we're not paid to say that.
Pity. If we say it enough times, you think we might be.
Come on, Aqualine.
Aqualine.
No, yeah, we truly do mean that. I wouldn't look at another brand for wide beam or narrowboat, would you?
No, and we do look like you said, because we've got, it's great. We can go and have a look what new
Yeah.
and used are selling, because they've always got lots of nice boats
Yeah.
in there, and we keep going, oh, that's nice. But
Yeah.
then if there's an Aqualine there, you go, oh well.
Without
oh.
a doubt, you know, and again, it's not criticism. You know, there's pretty boats, and then there's well-constructed boats. That's, and I think the latter is Aqualine at 100%.
We were talking about this last night.
Yeah, we were.
And I said there's certain boats that, a bit like us girls, I used to always have false nails and lots of makeup and big hair and everything. And that's hard to believe when you look at me now as a boat. So I did. I used to wear high heels and everything. But take away the false nails and all the makeup and everything, and you're left with a good sturdy base, aren't you? So some boats are a bit like the glamorous thing, but underneath it's, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's the right
Yeah,
analogy.
no, this
you know what
is,
I'm trying to say.
Yeah, this is belt and braces as far as I'm concerned. So sorry to bang on about it, but you know, it's a huge decision, Edward.
Huge.
Massive decision. You know, we've said many times, and I believe it to be the right approach. Others would maybe disagree. Fine, that's your opinion. I, you know, don't agree with it. I respect it. When we bought our narrowboat, you know, went in at a certain level because one, we weren't sure whether we'd like it, and two, you know, we wanted to kind of test the water in terms of, okay, you know, what is this lifestyle all about? I suppose that's the saying, you know, would we like it or not, etc. But we left that boat, Love Life Triumph, with a profit, and we went into Aqualine brand, all in, because we'd been on the boat for a year. We'd looked at other Aqualines for sale, and been on to the brokerage to look at wide beams, hadn't we? And as I say, the minute we walked onto an Aqualine, it was just it was job done. It really was job done. So yeah, and it is a massive decision. So do your research, really do your research, and look at as many boats as you can.
Yeah, because that's just our opinion.
It is.
Everything
absolutely.
is just our opinion.
Of course it is, yeah, and we'll probably get hate mail now from
different
anyway.
areas.
So that is it for this monthly podcast. The next one we do will actually be in between Christmas and New Year.
Oh, we'll be all giddy. Now we'll have to apologise because we might have had a bit of mulled wine or
Baileys or
something.
3. So listen, I know you'll see us on our kind of weekly vlogs, but in terms of those hardcore podcast fans, have a lovely Christmas.
Yes.
If you don't check in on the weekly vlogs,
Yeah.
we will see you on the next podcast in between Christmas and the New Year.
Yeah.
Take care. Mrs. B, say goodbye.
Goodbye and Merry Christmas. and a
Oh,
very
goodbye.
happy
Merry
New-
Christmas.
Merry
Don't
Christmas.
eat too many mince pies. Goodbye.